My name is Kelvin, and I am 50 years old. 10 years ago, I was a happy husband. Life seemed perfect. I had the woman of my dreams, a beautiful home, and everything I thought I needed to feel complete. We had everything, at least that's what I thought. Her name was Sarah. She was everything to me. We met in college, and from the first day we spoke, I knew she was different. It wasn't just her smile or the way she spoke, but the warmth that radiated from her. She had this ability to make everyone feel like they were the most important person in the room. I couldn't believe my luck when she said yes to being my girlfriend. I remember how I'd look at her in the crowd, my heart racing, knowing I had found something special. When we got married, I felt like the luckiest man on earth. Our wedding day was a dream. Our families together, laughing, celebrating, and dancing the night away. We were both young and in love, and I truly believed that nothing could break us apart. We built a life together, a house, a family, and countless memories. Our love wasn't perfect, of course. We had our disagreements, our challenges, just like any couple, but the love between us was the foundation. I remember the quiet mornings, Sarah making coffee in the kitchen while I read the newspaper. I remember the evenings spent curled up on the couch, watching our favorite movies. It was simple, but it was ours, and that was all I needed. But somewhere along the way, things began to shift. It wasn't sudden. It happened slowly, almost unnoticed. First, it was just little things. I'd come home after work, and Sarah would be busy with something, her phone, the kids, or the house. She'd greet me with a smile, but it wasn't the same. She didn't have that spark in her eyes that she once had when she saw me, and I didn't have that same excitement to see her. The dinners we used to share became quieter. Conversations that once flowed easily now felt like pulling teeth. I would try to talk about my day, and Sarah would nod, but her mind seemed somewhere else. The connection we once had was slowly slipping through our fingers. I tried to ignore it at first. Work was demanding, and I figured things would get better. But the distance between us only grew. I stopped noticing the small things, the way she'd laugh at my silly jokes, the way she used to touch my arm when we sat together. And I wasn't the only one changing. Sarah was changing too. She was no longer the carefree woman I had married. She was quieter, more withdrawn, and I could tell she was unhappy. The turning point came one night when Sarah looked at me with a heaviness in her eyes that I had never seen before. We were sitting in the living room after the kids had gone to bed, the TV playing softly in the background, but neither of us was really watching. "Kelvin, we need to talk," she said, her voice trembling slightly. I turned to face her, and for the first time in a long while, I felt a sense of dread. "What's wrong?" I asked, trying to sound calm, though my heart was racing. She looked down at her hands before meeting my gaze. "I don't think I can do this anymore." My chest tightened. "What do you mean?" She paused, taking a deep breath. "I feel like I'm alone, even when you're here. I feel like we've lost each other. We don't laugh like we used to. We don't talk like we used to. You're here, but you're not really here, Kelvin." Her words hit me like a ton of bricks. It was as if everything I hadn't been willing to face was suddenly right in front of me. The truth was that I had been too caught up in my own world to see the cracks forming in ours. "I'm sorry," I whispered, the weight of my regret sinking in. But sorry wasn't enough. It was too late to turn back the clock. That night marked the beginning of the end. The days that followed were filled with long, painful conversations, but no real solutions. Sarah told me that she didn't feel loved anymore, that she had tried for years to make things work, but she couldn't keep pretending everything was okay. She said she needed space to figure things out, and that's when she left. I couldn't believe it at first. I remember the emptiness I felt as I watched her pack her things. We had built a life together, and now it was all falling apart. I wanted to beg her to stay, to promise I'd change, but I knew deep down that she had already made up her mind. The house was quiet after she left. The silence felt so loud. It wasn't just the absence of her. It was the absence of everything we had built together. Our love, our laughter, our shared moments, they were all gone. I found myself sitting in the same chair where we used to talk for hours, staring at the empty space, wishing I could go back and do things differently. The months that followed were some of the hardest of my life. I tried to move on, to fill the void with work, hobbies, and distractions, but nothing worked. I missed Sarah more than I could put into words. I missed her voice, her touch, her smile. I missed being the man I was when I was with her. Eventually, I realized something I had never understood before. Love isn't enough. It's not enough to just have feelings for someone. You have to put in the work. You have to show up, day after day, and be present. I had failed Sarah in ways I couldn't take back, and the consequences of that failure were the emptiness I felt now. 10 years ago, I was a happy husband. I had everything I ever wanted. But now, I'm a man who has learned the hard way that love is fragile, and time is never on your side. I can't change the past, but I can carry the lessons with me. And maybe, just maybe, that will be enough to heal the wounds I've caused. It's been years now since Sarah left, and I still think about her every day. People tell me that time heals all wounds, but I've learned that it's not time that heals, it's what you do with that time. I've spent these years trying to find peace with myself, to understand where things went wrong and how I could have done better. But there are days when the memories hit me hard. I'll pass by a store we used to visit together, or I'll hear a song on the radio that was once our song. And for a split second, it feels like she's still with me. But then the reality sets in. She's gone, and so is the life we had. There's a part of me that wonders what she's doing now. Does she think about me the way I think about her? Is she happy? I hope she is. I hope she found peace and happiness again, even if it's without me. I know I can't undo what I did, but I hope that, somewhere deep down, she remembers the good times. The love we shared wasn't perfect, but it was real, and for that, I'll always be grateful. I've tried to move on. I've dated a few times, and I've met some wonderful women, but I've realized that you can't just replace someone who meant so much to you. You can't just erase a person from your heart. It's like trying to erase a chapter from a book that's already been written. No matter how hard you try, it's still there, a part of the story. I've had to learn to love myself again, to rediscover the person I was before I got lost in the routine of life, before I took Sarah for granted. I've come to understand that I was too focused on everything else. My job, my ambitions, that I neglected the one person who was always there for me no matter what. She deserved more. She deserved the best version of me, and I failed to give that to her. In the years since Sarah left, I've grown. I've learned to listen, to be present, to appreciate the small things in life. I've learned that love isn't about grand gestures or big moments. It's about the everyday things, the little acts of kindness, the conversations, the shared laughter, and yes, even the quiet moments together. It's about showing up, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. I can never give Sarah those years back, but I can be a better man moving forward. There are still moments when I catch myself wishing things had turned out differently, when I wonder if I could have done more, said more, loved more. But I've accepted that life doesn't always give us second chances. And sometimes, all we can do is learn from our mistakes and hope that the future holds something better. I don't know if Sarah will ever come back, or if I'll ever find that kind of love again. But I do know that I will carry the lessons I've learned with me for the rest of my life. And if I ever get the chance to love again, I'll do it with a heart that's more open, more willing to give, and more aware of what truly matters. For now, I'm still healing, still learning, but I'm also grateful for the time I had with Sarah. She made me who I am today, and for that, I'll always thankful.